From reaching trail to the Great March, from the aging ocean to the endless sea, from Fisherman's Row to Godcroft's. Live from Studio A in PressCorps World Headquarters, this is Foxhole Flash, bringing you the latest news from across the Siva Valley War Zone.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening. For the PressCorps, I'm Jeffrey Jennings. Here in the 59th conflict of the Foxhole War, it's day 3. Feels like a longer time than that. Fighting continues to rage on all across the front line, from Tempest Island all the way through Faranic Coast. The border territories have absolutely lit up from the amount of firepower and gunpowder in the air. But before we head back into the status of the front line, we actually have a news package from PressCorps Colonial Reporter Moth B. Mann. I used to believe Colonial Reporter. And this news package actually comes from before the beginning of the 59th conflict that started just 3 days ago. This is from a colonial staging point.
In modern warfare, an army must make a modern soldier. As the age of modernity creates new innovations for both domestic life and the battlefield, so too must the modern soldier innovate. When resources become scarce, one must improvise and adapt to the challenges prompted by the new modern era. It is here that the modern soldier does this with gusto, tackling modern problems with improvised and modern solutions, adapting as the situation sees fit. The Velimessian soldier has always carried with their existence a sort of precipitous or impetuous nature. The belief of that which can be done tomorrow can be done today, often without regard to the tactical situation. This reckless method of fighting has often been both their greatest weapon and their greatest weakness. However, as time has marched on, the soldiers who have survived long enough to earn their stripes are quite opposite of the young, energetic lot they came from. They're quiet, soft, and methodical, careful not to move stones on the path. For them, war is existence. They have become molded by it, and in turn, the old breed teach and impart wisdom on members of the new breed clever enough to listen. With new equipment and weapons being slated to be sent to the front line after what seems like ages of development and testing, both the old and new breed are now in a strange, almost ethereal gray area in regards to experience with the new weapons. Weapons like the Colonial Ballista, designed to fire high explosive shells in an arc to destroy breastworks and defensive structures, or the Silver Hand, a Warden medium tank with 2 guns to fill the gap between the Devitt and Flood tanks. To succeed or fail is entirely up to the soldiers who are charged with carrying these new weapons from the arms race into actual conflict, to measure their real worth on the field, and to finally see if they are as capable as the engineers who designed them claim them to be. However, new vehicles have brought about new measures of defense. AT cannons and RPGs have been repurposed and mounted to new platforms, in both the scope of trench warfare and in-vehicle modifications, mounting rockets to a LUV that has had its canvas roof removed in order to maximize speed for rapid interdictions against tank attacks, or for partisans to raid supply lines. With Velimessia and Siva both at the eve of another conflict in the Mercy Valley, the PressCorps, and in turn the world, awaits with bated breath, encompassed in both intrigue and morbid curiosity, watching, waiting to see what the future of modern warfare will make of those old soldiers. For the PressCorps, I'm Moth B. Mann.
That report coming from 3 days ago before the beginning of major hostilities, and now 3 days later after that report, the front line is absolutely brimming with conflict. In the Deadlands, troops easily duking it out in wide quantities throughout the abandoned ward sector, as well as the pits and nearby Liberation Point. Faranic Coast also seeing heavy fighting in the central thirds of the region. And in the Lynn of Mercy, wardens and collies duking it out between the First Coin and Hardline. In the east, Drowned Vale, Endless Shore, and Tempest Island also seeing plenty of their own fighting. It seems that the wardens have captured, I believe they have captured the observation tower south of their relic base at Lost Aircall. but the Colonials may be poised to take it back. But either way, it's going to be tough fighting in Tempest simply because of the very thin kill zones in which troops can funnel through and just be slaughtered by the masses. Speaking of which, in the combined casualty count, we have reached nearly 11,000 dead, 10.9 thousand confirmed dead here in the 59th conflict. That's approximately a 100% increase in just 18 hours of the last 18 hours of fighting. It's a staggering number, a sobering number to think about. But in any case, we'll keep you updated as the war continues to unfold, and if any major breakthroughs happen, which we are particularly looking out for. If you see a PressCorps reporter out there, don't be afraid to tell them your story. For now, though, let's get back to the music.
This hour of programming is brought to you by Fortified, available on Steam.